All right, as I reported on yesterday, the United States carried out a strike against a drug-carrying boat from Venezuela. At least that's the story, that's the claim the Pentagon is making. This is just days after the Pentagon deployed warships to the southern Caribbean to stop the flow of cocaine. We've talked about this, the ships being there. Trump has posted on social media that they positively identified narco-terrorists from the cartel Tren de Aragua operating a small boat carrying drugs to the U.S. The strike resulted in the death of 11 terrorists by his definition. I don't know how drug cartel members are terrorists. He continued, Trump wrote, "Please let this serve as notice to anybody ever thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware. Thank you for your attention on this matter." 55 exclamation points after that. Marco Rubio said that the U.S. had conducted a lethal strike against a drug vessel that departed from Venezuela and, quote, was being operated by a designated narco-terrorist organization. The war on drugs continues. The war on drugs that was launched in the early 1970s by the Nixon administration and has gone through various phases of more intensification and less intensification over the decades is going to go through a more intensified period. The U.S. military is getting involved again. Remember, the U.S. military was involved. It was bombing, it was firebombing areas in Colombia that were being cultivated for growth of cocaine. I'm not sure why we're not bombing Colombia right now, or Venezuela for that matter, where the cocaine is being bought. So there's nothing new here other than we're using the Navy and we're bombing boats. In the past, a boat like this identified as carrying cocaine would have been stopped by the Coast Guards, boarded, or it would have been a shootout, and it would have been destroyed anyway. This is more drama, missiles, maybe drones, who knows. Military's doing it, it's not the Coast Guard, those wimps in the Coast Guard. I'm saying wimps, I'm joking, but this is kind of the attitude of the Trump administration. We need the big boats, the big ships. We should send an aircraft carrier over there. But it's just the continuation of the drug war. This is not going to stop the flow of cocaine coming into the United States. If they can't bring it in the Caribbean, they'll bring it in through the Pacific. They can't bring it in through the Pacific, they'll bring it through the Mexican border. They can't bring it through the Mexican border, they'll build tunnels and they'll bring it under the Mexican border. They'll take it to Canada and bring it through Canada. They'll fly it in. They will find ways to get it in. Nothing the United States has done in the entire history of the war on drugs, which is now 50 plus years, nothing the United States has done has slowed the flow of cocaine or heroin or any other drugs, fentanyl, into the United States. And nothing, this is my prediction, not a difficult one to make, nothing the Trump administration is going to do is going to dramatically change the flow of drugs into the United States. You can blow up boats, you can blow up ships, you can threaten people. It's too much profit, too many desperate people, and too much profit to be ignored. You want to stop the flow of drugs into the United States? Legalize the drugs. That'll do it. Legalize drugs. Profit margin goes away. Violence goes away. The gangs go away. Venezuela is getting ready for an armed attack by the United States. We've talked about this as well. If Venezuela, Maduro said today, if Venezuela were to be attacked, it would immediately pass to a period of armed struggle in defense of national territory. He said the U.S. buildup in the Caribbean was the biggest threat our continent, the entire continent, has faced in the last 100 years. So tensions in the Southern Caribbean are growing, and Trump is putting on a show. It's what he's good at, putting on shows. And he's putting on a show, and he's blowing up boats, and he could blow up other stuff, he'd blow up other stuff. He's the macho tough guy who's going to stop the drugs single-handedly. But ain't happening. And it's a waste of money and effort and time to try to stop these drugs from coming in. So anyway, more Trump theater.